All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the Trump tax plan. Now, you see a lot of people, of course, a lot of liberals, or I guess the Republican tax plan, but a lot of people bashing it, saying, oh my God, it only helps the rich. You know, it's bad for middle-class America, when that is totally untrue. Because it's a tax cut for everybody. I mean, the average middle-class family is seeing a tax cut. You know, they did a special on CBS where everybody's like, well, yeah, we thought our taxes were going up because that's what the mainstream media is telling us, but we actually find out that, hey, our taxes are actually decreasing. Middle-class America is actually getting a tax cut. Poor people are getting a tax cut. But that's not what you're going to hear on the mainstream media because they of course have a bias. But yeah, I mean, but they say, oh well, the rich people are reaping the benefits. Well, yeah, of course they are, because they're the ones that are paying the higher taxes. They're paying more in taxes, so yeah, they should get a bigger decrease in taxes. They're the ones that are paying 30, 40, 50% of their income in taxes. So yeah, they should be getting a decrease in tax more than somebody like myself or somebody who's in the middle class who has to pay a less percentage. So that makes sense to me. I mean, that's pretty much common sense. I mean, why should, just because you make, $1 million, why should you have to pay 40% of that to the federal government? Doesn't just because you make more doesn't mean the government, should take a higher percentage of your taxes. It's not fair. It's not, but one thing though, if you're going to decrease taxes, you also have to get rid of all these useless federal government agencies like the Department of Energy, the Department of Education, the Department of bullshit, because the federal government has grown way too big. It's too huge. It's a huge bureaucracy. So, simultaneously, the Republicans should be working to get rid of all these other programs, because there's no place in the Constitution that lists education should belong to the federal government. There's no place in the Constitution that says housing or energy or whatever should belong to the federal government. But yet the federal government takes over all these responsibilities that aren't theirs, that in many cases aren't even responsibilities of the federal government, or not even responsibility of the state or local government, where government should just get out of it altogether. But if anything, the state government should run these things that are not listed in the Constitution. So I think the Republicans need to get on that, need to get government out of all these stupid things that they've involved themselves in. But no, overall the tax plan is great. We're paying way too much in taxes. Just 100 years ago, we didn't even have an income tax. So, I mean, and especially the rich people, too. People like to say, oh, rich people don't pay anything. That's Bernie said, the 1%ers don't pay anything in taxes. They're so evil, they're so corrupt. When in reality, it's more like the top 0.0001% that are getting the tax breaks from the government, the big companies. It's not like your successful business owner making $600,000 a year that may have started a successful restaurant chain that's the corrupt people. Just because you're rich doesn't mean you're corrupt. In fact, most people aren't. Most people, who are in the 1% pay a shit ton in taxes, and they've come out with the statistics that the 1% pays like 95% of the taxes or some crazy number like that. So when crazy Bernie goes out there and bashes the 1% and says how bad they are, well, they're the ones paying the most taxes, you fucking retard. Rich people are not bad. They're just successful business. What are you, jealous of them or something? They're successful business owners that have gone out and created business and supplied our economy and have created jobs. If you overly tax those people and just keep taxing them, many of them are gonna go out of business. Especially the small, it kills small businesses. Overtaxate, because small businesses don't have much room to mess up, to fuck up. So if you keep taking away, money from the small businesses, it's just gonna, and as we see the statistics, many small businesses fail in their first 2 years or 4 years or 5 years. It's like 30%, I believe, or 50% fail in like the first few years because they're just overtaxed, overregulated. So yeah, reducing taxes is great for everybody. It's gonna also bring more companies here. If you're looking to start a company, why would you start a company here when the corporate tax rate is 35%? It makes more sense to start in a different country. But now that we've lowered the tax rate, that's good. It's going to create more jobs, more businesses. And like I said, the rich people are getting taxed to hell. So we should have lowered their taxes. I mean, what is lowering the taxes of rich people always a bad idea just because they're rich? No, it's. I mean, and we, like I said, we have to talk fair. I mean, why don't we just tax millionaires 70%? Because in theory, they could survive off $300,000. So let's just tax them 70%. Why not? Why not? So no, I like the tax cut. Trump ended the year on a good note there. I'm glad they got passed. So yeah, thank God Hillary or Bernie is not president though, and not raising our taxes, because that is because those two people don't know two shits about the economy. One's an idiot, and Bernie Sanders, about the economy. The other one's just corrupt. But yeah, the last thing we need is more fucking taxes. Our government is already taking more money. It already has so many useless programs. But yeah, the next step we need to take is to cut all these useless federal government programs, all these alphabet agencies and shit like that. So there you go, people.